Hi, welcome back to Impossible. Today, I want to talk to you about potential. The reason I want to talk about potential is because one of the things that really lacks in all of our journeys, especially mine, when I first started to look at things differently in my life, was being able to see the potential that I actually have in my life. One of the things I like to do with potential is I like to think about it as a river that's flowing. And from a very young age, we have unlimited potential put in front of us. With the analogy of that river and the way that it flows, it shows how we have the ability to continue to move forward and realize more things about ourselves as we grow. And with the analogy of a river, what I like about that is because we can also use it in the thoughts of things that are getting in our way. So as we are moving through life and we have potential and we're going down this stream, sometimes we have influences that starts putting rocks and start diverting the flow of what our potential is. These things are coming from influences that are either from school, parents, or our friends, or even the environment that we're in. They start to be able to get in the way of that flow of that river. One thing I realized in my journey is that when these things started to build up, it not only started restricting the flow, it started to have compromising effects against it. And it actually started building a dam that was breaking off my river of potential. This dam, it started to block my potential from being able to flow straight down and actually started to affect how I see myself. My potential was being limited. I wasn't able to see myself in a way to truly go past things because everything started damming up. These influences that were building this dam actually could come from both positive and negative things, but it actually caused me to look at myself from the perspective other people had about me and not about the perspective of what I can see in myself. I like to use the analogy of a dam buster. Once I decided to start changing my perspective of what I see about myself and start expanding through comfort zones to be able to start learn and have growth in my life, it started to slowly chip away at the dam that was put in front of me. The chipping away that came from that dam allowed the potential to start flowing again, especially things that were locked up for a long time. For example, I had a teacher in the past, and that teacher told me that I would never be able to achieve this because I didn't act the way that I was supposed to be in producing a certain product. I'm not very good at writing with my hand. And because of that, I actually limited myself from being able to pursue further education until I got later on in life. Because of that lack and what was put in that dam, it stopped my potential to look at myself to be able to go forward in further education in my life. It wasn't until I was able to get a little bit older and find other techniques that were able to get past what that teacher put as an obstacle in my life to allow me to see the full potential of being able to read, write, and even speak better. The removal of that part of the dam allowed my potential, the river, to continue to flow forward. And as I started realizing that I wasn't as bad as all these things that came in, or I wasn't as good as all these things that came in, it depends on the influence. I could now see myself differently, but it started removing that dam. And I had to be able to step out and be able to allow that potential to continue to flow. I really like that analogy because if you think about a dam, a great big hydroelectric dam, and it has all that water being held back, and it just comes through a tiny little inlet, that's potential flowing out as you realize that there's things that you can do. So once you imagine a giant hydroelectric dam holding back all this water, all that water that's being held back has kinetic energy behind it. That's also like the potential in your life. Now, hydroelectric dams, they just let a little bit of flow through to get the energy and what they want. But just imagine for a second, if you had the ability to move out of your comfort zones and go past fear and start tearing down the dams of all the things that have been put in the way of stopping your potential, what would happen once that was released? I know in my life, once that dam fell down, I was able to start doing things that I would never imagine I could have done 25 years ago. And because of that, that's what helped me become more successful in my life. So I no longer allow things to come up and start dams holding back what my potential is and how I was designed to be and what I'm going to do in the future. And that is one of the biggest things that's helped me move from feeling like things are impossible to knowing that I'm possible. So I want to encourage you today. Look back at some of the things that have been said in your past. Are they true about you? And if they're not, they're potential roadblocks to stop your unlimited potential from being released. If you like what you heard today, why don't you subscribe to the channel? Give us a like. Have a good day and stay tuned for more I'm Possible.